The arrival of the sky above Delta 9 was never silent. Cargo ships, patrol cruisers, and mining drones filled the air every day. But today, everything stopped. A strange ship appeared in the sky. It was smooth, silver, and shaped like a teardrop. It moved slowly, like it had all the time in the galaxy. Commander Rian stood at the landing zone, his hand resting on his sidearm. Soldiers stood behind him, nervous. No one had seen this type of ship before. "It's her," said Major Collins in a low voice. "The alien princess." Rian didn't move. His eyes stayed on the ship. He had read the files. A royal from the Alari species, a race older and more advanced than humans. They ruled star systems, but they never visited human colonies. Until now, the ship landed with no sound. A single ramp opened. From the mist, one figure walked forward. She was tall and slender, covered from head to toe in a white and silver exosuit. Her helmet was smooth and featureless, reflecting the sky. She walked with calm, quiet steps, like she wasn't afraid of anything. Rian stepped forward. He cleared his throat. "I am Commander Rian Voss of the United Earth Coalition. Welcome to Delta 9. She stopped. Silence. Then she tilted her head slightly, as if observing him. The air felt heavier. Rian wasn't sure why, but he suddenly felt like he was the one being judged. She raised her hand and pressed something on her helmet. A soft click echoed. A voice came through the translator. "I accept your welcome, Commander Rian." Her voice was soft, musical, and clear. Rian blinked. "You speak our language?" "I studied," she replied simply. There was something strange in her tone. It wasn't cold. It wasn't robotic. It was curious, like she wanted to know more about him. "You may follow me," Rian said. "We've prepared a guest chamber in the command dome." She didn't move. "I request one guide," she said. "Very well," Rian nodded. "You'll have a team." "No," she interrupted. "Only you," Rian frowned. The other officers looked at each other, confused. "May I ask why?" "I trust you." Rian's heart skipped for a moment. They had just met. Protocol requires, "I will not enter your base without you. If that is a problem, I will return to my ship." Rian sighed. "Fine, just me." She walked beside him. Silently. The air was tense, but not hostile. Rian noticed how the soldiers lowered their weapons, but never took their eyes off her. Inside the base, curious eyes watched from every hallway. News of the alien princess had already spread. "She really picked you?" A technician whispered. "She didn't even look at anyone else," another muttered. Rian walked ahead, trying to ignore the whispers. The princess said nothing. She just followed him like a silent shadow. He led her to the private guest suite large, with neutral air, smooth walls, and no visible cameras. He opened the door. "This will be your room. Food can be requested by voice. Security will not bother you unless you leave without permission." She stepped inside and looked around. Then she turned to him. "You may ask one question." Rian blinked. "Excuse me?" "You guided me. I will offer one answer." He thought for a moment. "Why did you choose to come here? To a human colony?" She paused, then said, "Because this world is the key." "To what?" "To understanding." Rian wanted to ask more, but she raised her hand gently. One question only. Then she turned her back and walked toward the center of the room. Just before the door closed, Rian saw her raise her hand to her helmet. Her fingers hovered near the release, but the door slid shut. Rian stood outside, confused, heart pounding. He had met aliens before. He had even fought some. But none of them had looked at him like she did, like she already knew him. The forbidden mission. The next morning, Delta 9 woke up to rumors. She refused the generals? She wants him again? In the command room, officers argued. Screens showed messages from Earth Command. No one understood the alien princess's behavior. Commander Rian stood quietly. He already knew what was coming. A small alert buzzed on his communicator. A message. Escort requested. Location. Southern Ruins. From Princess Velari. Rian looked at Major Collins. She requested another meeting? Collins asked. No, Rian replied. She requested a mission. With me, alone. Collins's eyes narrowed. The Southern Ruins are off limits. No one goes there without clearance. It's ancient Alari tech long abandoned. Then why does she want to go back? Because she's hiding something, Collins said. And you're walking into it. They met near the landing pads. The princess stood in full armor again, but this time her helmet visor glowed softly. A sign she had activated deep scan mode. You accepted, she said when Rian approached. I had questions, Rian replied. Now I want answers. You will have them, she said. If you listen. They boarded a small hover transport. Rian drove. She said little, but every now and then she turned her head watching him. The desert stretched wide around them. Wind blew softly through jagged rocks. The ruins appeared like ghosts in the sand. Tall black towers, broken and buried, stood like the bones of giants. Rian slowed the vehicle. This place has been untouched for over 100 years. Because your people are afraid of it, she said. Because it's dangerous. She stepped out of the vehicle. And still, you came. The ruins hummed quietly. Old tech pulsed deep underground. As they walked, the air felt thicker, heavier. Rian placed his hand on his sidearm, just in case. The princess stopped in front of a large stone gate. Strange markings glowed blue across its surface. She ran her fingers over them. This was once a temple, she said, built by those who came before my kind. Are you looking for something? Yes, a message. Suddenly, the ground shook out from the sky. 3 sharp shadows fell fast enemy drones. They're not ours. Rian shouted, drawing his weapon. Before he could fire, the princess raised her arm. A flash of white-blue energy shot out of her gauntlet, striking one drone mid-air. It exploded into pieces. The second one fired at her. Rian pushed her aside, firing at the drone, but missed. The princess rolled across the ground, then stood and extended both arms. Her suit lit up, energy shields activated. The final drone flew toward her, but she stood her ground. One blast, clean and precise, ended the fight. Silence returned. Rian stood stunned. Where did you learn to fight like that? She turned to him. Her helmet hissed softly, as if it were trying to breathe. I did not come to destroy, she said. But I will not let them stop me. Who are they? Rian asked. Why are they following you? They want the message to remain hidden. But I came to deliver it. To who? To you, she said quietly. They walked deeper into the ruins. In the center, a small platform rose from the sand. It was covered in ancient symbols. The princess placed her hand on it. A glowing sphere floated upward. Images of stars, planets, and warships appeared inside. Rian watched, confused. What is this? Our future, she said. War? No. A choice. She turned to face him. My people fear humans. They believe you are chaos. But I saw something else. Rian stepped back. You knew about me before coming here? She nodded. Your file. Your voice. Your compassion during the Riva conflict. I studied it all. Why? Because you are not like the others. And maybe, neither am I. As the sun began to fall, they returned to the vehicle. Rian looked back at the ruins, then at her. Still don't know why you trust me. Her voice was softer now. Because when I look at you, I don't feel fear. I feel hope. The wind blew gently across the sand. The stars above were starting to appear. Rian didn't know what this mission had become, but it was no longer just diplomacy. Something had begun. And it was only the start. The hidden garden the next day was silent. No alarms, no messages, no orders. Commander. Rian waited inside the base. He sat alone in the observation deck, staring at the desert beyond the glass. His mind kept going back to the ruins, to her voice, and the strange warmth he felt when she looked at him. Why did she trust him? Why did he trust her? His communicator blinked again. Message received. Follow. Alone. Same location. He didn't ask permission this time. He just left when he reached the ruins. The sun was high and hot. The wind had changed direction, uncovering more of the stone floor. Vae al-Ari stood near a half-buried arch, brushing away sand. She turned when he arrived. Again, her full suit covered her, but this time her gloves were off. Her hands were pale silver, with faint glowing lines like veins. Delicate, not robotic, but something in between human and something else. Came, she said. You already knew I would. You still ask why, she replied gently. He nodded. Every moment. Then let me show you something. They walked through a narrow tunnel behind the ruins. Rian had never seen it before. It was hidden behind a collapsed pillar. As they stepped inside, the temperature dropped. The walls began to glow faint green. Ancient lights still alive after. All these years. After 10 minutes of walking, they reached an opening, and Rian stopped, frozen. A garden. A living, breathing garden deep underground. Tall alien trees glowed with soft blue leaves. Strange flowers floated in midair, their petals opening and closing slowly like they were breathing. A small pool in the center sparkled with light, though no sun touched it. It was beautiful, peaceful, like it didn't belong to this war-torn galaxy. What is this place? Rian whispered. A sanctuary, she said, built long ago by those who understood life, not war. You've been here before? She nodded. When I was a child, I came with my mother. She said this place was sacred, a gift from the ancients, a place of truth. Rian stepped toward the glowing water. He saw his own reflection, but something was different. He looked calm, like the weight of war had fallen off his shoulders. I thought your people didn't believe in peace, he said. They don't, she replied, but I do. For a while, they sat in silence. Velari touched one of the floating flowers. It slowly moved toward her fingers, then rested gently in her hand. Tell me something, she said. What does beautiful mean to humans? Rian blinked. That's a big question. Is it only about shape? Skin? Color? No, he replied. It's about how someone makes you feel. If they make you feel safe, understood, alive. She was quiet for a moment, then said, I thought so. Rian turned to her. Why do you ask? Because I wonder if you would still say that if you saw my face. His breath caught. She stood and faced him. Her fingers touched the side of her helmet, but she didn't remove it. Not yet. Instead, she said, in my culture, we only remove our helmets when we trust someone with our soul. I haven't done that, not even with my own kind. Rian stood up. His heart beat faster, but not from fear. He took a step closer. I won't ask you to remove it, he said, but I hope one day you choose to. She looked at him for a long time. The helmet hid her face, but somehow he felt her eyes on his dot as they walked back through the tunnel. The moment stayed between them, soft, unspoken. But just before they left the garden, Velari paused. She whispered, more to herself than to him. When the helmet falls, the truth begins. Rian didn't ask what she meant. He just followed her out, and deep in his chest, something had already begun to change. The ambush night on Delta 9 was quiet. Too quiet. Commander Rian stood near the outer wall of the base, staring at the stars. His mind was full memories of the glowing garden, of Valerie's words, of her voice echoing softly in his head. She hadn't removed her helmet, but something had changed between them. He felt it dot, then the sirens blared. Red lights flashed. Alert! Perimeter breached Sector 9. Rian ran. Soldiers rushed out behind him, weapons ready. He reached the security deck. The screen showed 3 fast-moving objects coming from the south. Not drones, not ships. Foot soldiers, one officer said. Armored, fast. Whose? Rian asked. No ID, no signals. Then the screen blinked and went dark. Jam. Someone. Wanted silence. Rian grabbed his rifle and sprinted toward the outer wall. Suddenly, a loud crash shook the east gate. Sparks flew. Then, boom. The wall exploded inward. Figures in black armor stormed through the smoke. Not Ilari, not human. Unknown. Tech. Velari appeared from the shadows, stepping calmly between the chaos. Without a word, she raised her hand. Her arm lit up an energy shield, expanded like a dome around her, and RIAing bolts of plasma hit the shield and fizzled away. What are they? Rian shouted. Assassins, she said. Sent to silence us both. By who? My own people. Rian froze. Why? Because I chose peace. Because I came to understand you? They see it as betrayal. The soldiers outside the shield opened fire. Rian ducked, shooting between shield flickers. One enemy dropped. Valerie's suit shifted. Armor plates moved, revealing glowing lines along her arms. A pulse of energy built in her palm. She released it. Boom. One attacker was blasted across the field. More were coming. We need to move. Rian yelled. Velari nodded and dropped the shield. Follow me. They ran through the shadows, dodging fire. Rian noticed she moved like wind quick, smooth, like a dancer. They reached the back alley near the southern gate. Smoke covered them. Rian leaned against a wall, panting. Why now? Why here? They waited for the moment I opened my heart to your kind, she said softly. He turned to her. You said you trusted me. But how do I protect you from your own people? You can't, she whispered. But you can stand with me? That's enough. Suddenly, another attacker leapt from the smoke, aiming at her exposed side. Rian fired. Bang, just in time. The attacker fell. Velari turned slowly. Her helmet flickered. A thin crack spread across it. From the top down to the cheek. She touched it gently. It's breaking. Rian stared. Are you okay? He asked. I don't know, she said. This helmet is not just armor. It hides what I truly am. When it falls, I will have nothing left to hide. Another explosion shook the ground. Lights from the base lit up the battlefield. Reinforcements had arrived. The attackers were falling. Back! Sirens screamed across the field. But inside Rian's chest, it was silent. All he saw was her. Cracked helmet. Shaking hands. Eyes he could almost feel through the glass. Later, in the med bay, Rian sat beside her. Her suit was damaged. She refused to remove it. She held a small piece of her broken visor in her palm, like it meant something more. Rian leaned forward. You don't have to be afraid of me. I'm not, she said. Then what is it? I'm afraid of what? You'll see when the helmet comes off. The reveal. The med bay was dim, quiet, and still. Commander Rian sat on the edge of the room, elbows on his knees, watching the alien princess from across the space. Her armor was damaged, cracked in several places. The helmet still covered her face, but now it had a large crack down the side, and flickers of soft violet light glowed beneath the surface. She hadn't spoken for hours. Rian wanted to give her space, but something told him this moment was important. Finally, she broke the silence. "You saved my life." "You saved mine first," Rian replied quietly. She stood up slowly. Her movements were stiff, like she was carrying something heavy inside, not on her armor, but in her heart. "I need to show you something," she said. He stood too. "What is it? My face?" For a moment, the room felt frozen in time. Rian didn't speak. He only watched as her hands rose toward her helmet. Her fingers trembled as they found the latches on the sides. A faint hiss escaped as pressure released. The lights on her suit dimmed. Click, click, HSSS. She lifted the helmet. And Rian forgot to breathe. Her hair flowed out first silvery, soft, glowing faintly like starlight. Then her skin pale with a soft golden shimmer that caught the light. Not rough like armor, but smooth, soft, alive. Eyes, large, violet, deep, and filled with something ancient. And yet something human too. She looked at him, fully exposed. No armor, no shield, just her. Rian's lips parted. The only word that escaped his mouth. "Gorgeous." She blinked. "Surprised, you said it." She whispered. "I didn't mean to," he replied. "I hoped you would." She stepped closer. "You don't fear me?" "No." "You don't find me strange?" "No," he said. "You? You look like beauty made from stars." Her eyes softened. She turned slightly, hiding a tear that rolled silently down her cheek. "I was taught that humans would hate my kind," she said. "That they would see my face and turn away." "I was taught the same," Rian said. "That aliens were dangerous, selfish, cold. And yet," she whispered, "here we are." She took his hand. It was a simple touch, no sparks, no magic, but it felt more powerful than any weapon Rian had ever held. "You should know," she said. "By removing my helmet, I have broken the rules of my kind. There is no going back for me." "Then don't go back," Rian said. "Go forward. With you?" He nodded. "If you'll have me." Her smile was soft, small, and full of light. Suddenly, the room lights turned red. Another alert. Unknown ship detected above base. Possible Alari Royal Guards. Rian looked at her. "They're coming for you?" She turned toward the window. "No, they're coming to stop this, whatever this is becoming." "Then we make a choice," Rian said. "Now," Velari looked into his eyes. "I choose you." The choice. The red lights flashed across Delta 9's control room. Everyone knew what that meant. A large Alari Royal ship hovered just beyond the sky shields. It was bigger than anything the humans had seen before, dark, smooth, silent. No weapons. Fired. But the message was clear. They had come for the princess. Commander Rian stood at the edge of the landing zone, his face tight with worry. Beside him, Velari stood without her helmet now. Her glowing silver hair moved gently in the wind. Her violet eyes stayed fixed on the sky. "You don't have to go with them," Rian said. "They will say I betrayed my people." "You didn't. I chose peace," she replied. "They see that as weakness. And let me stand with you?" Velari looked at him, her voice quiet. "If you stay with me, you may never return to Earth. You'll be seen as a traitor." Two. He didn't blink. "I don't care." They walked into the base together. Officers and soldiers stared at her, stunned by her face, her beauty, her calm presence. But no one raised a weapon. General Thorne stepped forward. "You brought her inside without command approval," he said to Rian. "You let your emotions control your judgment." "No," Rian said. "I followed my heart, for once." "You're risking everything." "I know." Velari stepped between them. "Your general speaks with fear, not reason." General Thorne raised his voice. "And what do you want, alien? Our trust? Our surrender? No, she said. I want a chance. A single chance for humans and Alari to begin again. The room fell silent. Later, Rian and Valari stood alone at the hangar bay. The Alari ship still waited in the skydark, unmoving. They will land soon, she said, and they will ask for my return or my surrender. What will you say? Rian asked. That I choose Earth. He looked at her with full emotion in his eyes. And what do I say? That you choose. They sat together as the wind blew across the landing zone. You know, Rian said, I used to think love was something for quiet times. After war, after duty, but maybe ... love is what we fight for. Valari reached out and touched his face. You are not like the others. You make me want to be better, he replied. Suddenly, a message crackled through the speakers. Landing. Shuttle inbound from Ellery flagship. Beta. 2 minutes. Valari stood up. This is it. Are we ready? She nodded. Together, they walked toward the platform, toward the risk, toward the unknown, toward their choice, the new alliance, the shuttle. From the Alari royal ship landed in silence, its wings folded like petals. The ramp opened slowly. From inside, 3 tall Alari soldiers walked out heavily armored, faces hidden. Behind them came a figure in white taller, older, and wearing a long robe that shimmered like flowing stars. Valari stepped forward, calm, but unshaken. Rian stood beside her. The robed Alari spoke, his voice cold and deep. You removed your helmet before a human. You exposed your truth. Why? Because I trust him, Ilari answered. You were not sent here to fall in love, the elder said. I didn't fall, she replied. I rose. The elder looked at Rian. You, human. Do you understand the meaning of her choice? I do, Rian said, and I stand by it. You will never be welcome in Alari space again. You may be hunted. Then let them come, Rian replied. I won't leave her side. There was a long silence. Then something unexpected happened. The elder turned to the soldiers. Stand down. They lowered their weapons. Why? Valari asked. Because the council has been watching, and for the first time, they saw something we never expected. A human protecting one of us. A human choosing peace, even when it costs him everything. The elder looked at Rian. You gave us something we never expected. Doubt. Doubt in our hate. Doubt in our pride. Within days, a new message spread across the stars. Not of war. Not of surrender. But of a proposal. A new alliance between humans and Alari. And at the center of that alliance stood 2 people once strangers, now symbols of something more powerful than politics or power. Hope. Months later, Rian walked through the garden beneath the ruins. The flowers still floated gently. The light still shimmered. But now, they weren't hidden. The garden had become a place of unity, visited by both species, protected by both governments. Valari walked beside him, no helmet, no armor, just her. You really said gorgeous. The first time you saw me? She teased. He smiled. Couldn't stop myself. And now? Now, he said, taking her hand. I see more than beauty. I see the woman who changed everything. They stood in the garden together, not as soldier and alien, but as something the galaxy had almost forgotten. 2 hearts that refused to hate, and from them, a new future began.